Okay, hello everyone once again. Had a shower, had a walk, went shopping, I'm back. Today I'm going to talk a bit about my spirituality, I guess, which is very bare bones, so this shouldn't take long. No, really I'm going to talk about why it's so bare bones, what's going on, to try and understand it a bit myself, to put it into words, to see if it makes any sense for anyone else. So, I guess in the past 2, 3, maybe longer, in the past 4 or 5 years, I slowly started a spiritual journey, which really picked up in the last 1 to 2 years, probably 2, and well, it hasn't gotten me very far, Now, it's better than what I had before, I think. I'm more deeply aware of things, of my own psyche, of the world, of reality. But I'm somebody that really struggles to believe in things, just to believe in anything, really. And I know a lot of people find conventional religions through some sort of spiritual journey, or at least easier to accept conventional religions, and sort of able through their, non-denominational spirituality, are able to get passed down the understandings, the faith, maybe, of more conventional religions, belief in God, even like kind of pseudo-Christians, they become almost, I would say, at least in the West. Or some good with the whole proper spiritual thing, go down more like, what's this word I'm looking for, right? Like a descriptor better than non-denominational. There is one, it just escapes me. But what I'm saying is, I don't have these. I've tried. I wish I could. I'm not the other option, right? Which I see a lot today, especially in young people, which is just science becomes your new religion. I feel like I was on that path, but I got off it. But I also haven't been able to get on the other one of belief in some higher power, I suppose. I think that's maybe the common thread, some sort of higher power, right? That they're kind of more, I'm going to say hippies, more hippie spiritual people, and nothing against them, I love them. I identify a lot more with them, I think, than traditional religious people. Though I also identify with them, and I've been, I have close friends that are that, and I've been to all sorts of places like that, and I actually feel really connected to my spirituality in some of their sacred places, like churches. But I don't have faith in it. I don't believe in it. And I'm not full science either. I'm not full, that side of things. It's not that I feel there's something more. It's just that doesn't satisfy me either. Neither of them satisfy this. And with pure reality, I'm not satisfied either, I guess. Which I'm not saying that in an emotional way. I'm not saying that in a depressive way. I think leaving all of those things aside, which I may or may not suffer with as well, I'm focusing on the fact that plain old reality, I understand that it is, right? It is. And that is, right, that level, if you can even call it spirituality, which I would say is kind of like Taoist, right? Or Taoist, if you're familiar with that, right? That sort of thing, which to me, I mean, maybe somebody has a better one here, but to me it's definitely one of the most, if not the most, stripped down spirituality or religion. I wouldn't call it religion, right? Philosophy of life, maybe, something like that, right? But it's the most stripped down of those. It requires the least, leaps in belief, right? Which is what I struggle with. But, okay, now, so taking that, which is the ones I feel most comfortable with, right? Mostly Alan, okay, not mostly Alan Watts, it doesn't make any sense. But most of my information on this, I guess, at least initially, came from Alan Watts' The Wisdom of Insecurity. Good book. really opened my eyes to all of this shit, but it still hasn't kind of helped, It's almost clarified that, okay, right, so I don't believe in all of these religions, but this thing that you're offering me is something I'm kind of not ready, right? This dissolution of the illusion of self, right? That I am separate from being, from this, from every moment, right? All of these things, the million ways you can say it. I understand them, right? And maybe somebody would be like, no, you don't understand them, obviously, because you feel this way. But I don't have anything wrong with them. Like, I see that and I get it. And it's like, yes, this is what to me most accurately, or at least most intuitively represents reality and the experience of life, I suppose. However, to put that into practice in my life is where I bloody struggle. I'm not able to live with that, Let me clarify. I think the way to live with that is through increased awareness. That's what I would say. Okay, increased awareness, which might mean different things, but I'm talking about the sort of awareness you get from meditation, any form of meditation. And here's another thing, right? In this whole, I'm going to look up that word because I need it. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. I got it. Secular. That's what I was looking for. So, back to where I was. I got some beans as well. Really bloody good. Really bloody good. Can you hear it? Is it annoying? Okay, so with these completely, I would say, right, the most secular practices, and then all forms, right. That's what we were talking about. All forms of prayer that increase awareness of this present moment, right, of this now. Then that is how you would practice the religion of Taoism. Look, this is all my understanding. I'm not a scholar. I've not studied these things. This is my slow accumulation of little bits of information that I pick up and then how I put them together in my head, okay? So this is my understanding. And I'm really welcoming any clarification, any suggestions on how I should reframe this, or corrections on assumptions and knowledge I might be misrepresenting or I just have wrong. So please do let me know. But back to it, as I understand it, right? All of these practices, which in then religious terms, the practice of meditation in religion would be prayer. That's how I've seen it. And that's why I think all of these things are kind of good, right? At least the practices of them when they are performed correctly, when they are performed correctly with attention. However, right, now back to the secular perspective, which would be mine, I suppose. When I am doing these practices of meditation in my case, and I notice the benefits, I notice an increased awareness, an improved ability to notice, I'm going to stop using that word, to detect, right, to understand my experience and not be caught up in it, right? That's kind of my goal, I guess. Or maybe it's not my goal, but I have definitely adopted it as my goal if it wasn't mine originally, from what I've heard, right? From what I've been told by people close to me, by the people online, by loads of sort of, I guess, spiritual, not teachers directly, though some were maybe, and just people with what I perceive to be, or what they perceive to be, an increased spiritual understanding of the world, enough such that they feel them presenting that information to me would be of value to me. And I appreciate that, and I take it on board. Now, what I have heard from these people is, right, to let states pass. Let states pass, let me elaborate. When you are feeling a bad emotion, right, depression, let's just call it what it is, right, that's the one I struggle with. When I'm feeling that, don't push it away. notice it, right? And this is where meditation helps. Awareness of your different states of being that you go through in your life. You can more consciously experience them, rather than what happens often with many of these things is, as soon as some part of your subconscious, let's call it, notices it, it blocks it, right? It bloody puts a stop in its tracks. I'm going to angle this down. Stops it. So when it does that, when it stops it, it represses it. It stays inside you. And I've noticed this. I've felt it many, many times. It's a cycle. I start to feel a little bit depressed, and then it gets in there. It locks in as soon as I dismiss it, as soon as I try and ignore it. However, when I'm able to just face it, when I notice it's there consciously, I don't let my subconscious do what it wants to do with it. I consciously am aware of the beginnings of this new experience, which I label as negative and store away instead. I just notice it as that, as an experience, as the experience of now, right? That's all it is, right? We are a continuum of experiences, a continuum of experience that is life. So when I consciously experience it, it flows through me quicker. I flow through it, or I flow through life, or life flows quicker, right? Or not quicker, that's the wrong word, right? I'm not speeding up time, but I'm consciously experiencing it so that it can flow. I'm not fighting it. You can't bloody fight life, right? I'm not going to answer that because I'm not confident enough in my knowledge, but I would say no, right, we cannot fight life. Okay, so then, where has this left me? Where has this bloody got me? Well, the more I am able to do this, the more I'm able to just experience, I feel like the more insane I get. And I suppose I shouldn't frame it in any way. I shouldn't even label it as insane, right? However, in practical terms and how I lead my life, it is not helping. It's changing things. And maybe in some ways it is helping. Many ways, I'm going to give it more due merit, right? It is helping. I think it is helping, especially with that depression. Never stays as long as it used to. But it's making me, by not trying to fix myself, by not trying to, I'm using fix in a fixed sense, in the, remain so sense, right? When I'm not trying to fix myself to a certain positive, right, as I label it, state, I change too much, I would say, more than humans are comfortable changing for themselves, and humans are comfortable perceiving others changing, right? When it comes to others, I think, I've not actually directly spoken to anyone about this. This is what I'm doing here. If people all over are like, what the heck, man? This is just life, you bloody idiot. You're just describing life. You're not insane. Whew, bloody hell. I mean, that would be the ideal golden outcome, right? Oh, great. Phew. Phew, I'm not insane. That's fine then. Everybody's just bloody crazy. So we can stop calling it crazy. I can stop calling it crazy. I don't think anyone else is calling it crazy, but I can stop calling it crazy. And somehow come to peace with the fact that this is just being human, and it's kind of fucking crazy from my learned perspective, which I will endeavor to change to be, wow, this is normal and this is fine. So, right, that's what I'm at. I guess that's the ideal outcome, right? Though it would be a challenge to change that perspective. But if all of this is sounding like, oh yes, this me, this normal, this human, you do a good job and tell me now. But now, on the other case, if it isn't, right, if that isn't the case, then well, then what we're left with is I'm going crazy. I don't feel crazy, you know. I'm not properly insane, but that's what it tends to, I would say. Do I keep waiting for something to change, or do I mean, it is changing all the time, my mental state. Do I accept this as normal, or do I seek stability? There we go. That's what I wanted to say. Do I seek stability? If I seek stability, if I seek stability of mind, which, you know, below a certain threshold, I'm comfortable calling sanity, though unfortunately now I find myself increasingly living more above that threshold, right? Therefore insanity. But anyways, in seeking stability, it implies working against the flow of life. There we go, we got there. That's my point. So what the fuck do I do? You see my dilemma? Enlighten me, man. I watched a good movie today. Man of Earth, or Man from Earth. Bigsby wrote it, somebody Bigsby, and directed by someone else who also, I think, directed or wrote some Star Trek episodes, which kind of made sense. I've always kind of liked Star Trek, but this was good. This was a guy who had to convince all his friends that he was born like 14,000 years ago, right? And he just hasn't died. But anyway, he met Buddha basically in his lifetime, right? And that, like, it literally made me cry. I don't know why. I just suddenly felt like crying. But as I'm saying this now, I'm like, bloody fuck, man. You know, why don't I get to meet Buddha? Like, I believe the actor when he said he'd met Buddha and that Buddha was the most amazing man he's ever met in 14,000 years. And I know it's a movie, but I bloody believed it in that moment, and it made me cry. And I was like, what the flip? Where's the Buddha now? You know? Where's bloody Buddha? And anyway, incidentally, he then went on to become Christ when he was spreading Buddha's teachings in like the Roman Empire. He was Jesus, and then it all got like blah blah blah. It's a good movie, go watch it. I'm not going to explain the whole plot, but obviously then I want to meet Jesus. I mean, I think everyone in the West really would like to meet Jesus. Maybe not younger generations now, which is fine. Chilling with that. But nothing against you younger generations, you know. But bloody Jesus would be a good one to meet. You know, not because he's magical or whatever. I don't know if he is arisen. Which I'm not going to go into that now. But I wish I could meet Jesus. But more than that, I wish I could meet Buddha. But hey, maybe there's a Buddha out there, and you're going to leave me a good comment that's really going to clear things up for me. Or maybe you're going to say that none of this made any sense and stop doing these videos and eating beans. Green Romano beans. I would say, well, you might be right about the other stuff, but you're wrong about these bloody beans, because holy moly, man, I mean, there isn't a bean better on this good green earth than this green Romano, crunchy, fresh green Romano bean. Which, oh my god, does it taste better by coming at a 50% discount from Lidl. I can't buy them otherwise. They're too expensive, you know, but if they're 50% off, or actually if they're any amount off, really, and they're below €2 for the bag, I buy that shit, because holy flip. I could eat off these my rest of my life. Okay, we're done here. Yeah? Cheers, have a good night. Good day, good morning, good evening. And I hope you get to meet Buddha, if I don't.